Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Augustin, otherwise known as Blaze. I am the weekly commentator for Golden Gate Wrestling, and I welcome you all to the second episode of the Golden Gate podcast. Yeah, it's been a while, but a lot has changed since the last time we spoke to you. I now have a new host with me. Let me just introductions. Silo.
Hello. I am one of the backstage workers of GGW, and I am on the podcast today joining Blaze here.
And Val, you care to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Val, one of the backstage producers.
Hell yeah. So, Paolo has been here for quite a while, but off and on, and Silo has been here since nearly the very beginning. So, I'll give these two Golden Gate just as much, if not more than I did. So, the last time we recorded a podcast, it was me and someone else. It was the Fortune tournament. You guys remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. Yes, that was the last time we had Max Wolf. Like one of the last times, like during the period we had Max Wolf still.
Obviously, all inaugural world champion. Few updates. Max Wolf vacated the belt, and Adrian is now headed for 160 days.
Very good title, might I say, because like Adrian, like when certain people hold titles, you get tired of them. I've yet to get tired of Adrian Adams. So
I'm tired of Adrian Adams.
Really?
So I think you're wrong.
Why do you say that?
I think you're full of sugar, honey, iced tea, Asylum.
why do you say that? Why are you tired of Adrian Adams?
I still hate it.
It's 2023, by the way, too.
Listen, man, Adrian Adams has had his little run. I think it's time for somebody to humble him. You know what I'm saying? Your ego can only go so far, can only carry you to a certain extent before you get humbled and sent down to fucking reality. Really think about it.
I don't know about that. I mean, Adrian said a great one. It's about now. He's now going on to correct if I'm wrong. He won the title in November.
But each defense gets harder and harder.
It's true. He's looking towards another defense against Alex Hunter. And at the next
Which is a very good competitor, wrestled everywhere. Alex Hunter is one of the most dangerous strikers in wrestling right now.
But
so we're probably going to see even match between those two.
I think we'll get more into it later. So, but now we get to our first topic. The first topic of today was the aftermath of Ticket to My Downfall, which was GGW's longest pay-per-view, and some would say biggest pay-per-view, since it almost acted what the changing of the name has I want to say reset, more of a chapter and done.
Continuation of the story.
Yeah, something like that. Well, we saw quite a lot, so since we go down the card.
Let's go up the card. Let's work our way up.
Okay. So from the start of the show, and so Chip in I'm gonna put up right here. We started with the night started with Rio Jackson and Max Wolf. Now that match was 3 minutes long.
Which was the biggest letdown of a match I think I've ever watched. I was going into this match, thinking, to see a showcase between these two megastars at this point. Like Matt Wolf, a guy that built himself up in another company we won't speak of that died, and Leo Jackson being a Hall of Famer somewhat of that company also died. So I feel like we were kind of let down in that match, bro. I don't know, man. I just feel like we could have seen way more from those two competitors.
Yeah, to an extent. I think really what it was something along the lines of not good, underwhelming. You know what I'm saying? And even then, Maxwell having his contract issues and things like that after. I mean, I think it just proved Leo Jackson truly needed to be done when it came to stepping into the squared circle. He did not look like himself. He did not look promising. He did not. I'm saying he did not.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think that match kind of affects his legacy a lot. To be honest with you, just the way that he performed, the way that he was just getting his ass kicked professionally or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it just felt like it was really two big disappointments because Maxwell came back under some agreements and then stuff didn't like go down the way it should have. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where two parties didn't meet. So really, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just kind of a forgettable thing. I bet Leo Jackson wants to forget that ever happened. I bet he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Leave that past. Yeah.
The thing with Jackson, he looked a step too slow.
I mean, those
It looked like he shouldn't have been in there.
Those flashes, like, could have sworn I saw world champ Jackson, Like, when he delivered those full repeated Superman punches, I thought, okay, Jackson's back in his regular gear. It was like he went, it was like he was working last year at, fourth gear, all the time, and then suddenly, switched to second gear. And I thought, like, well, okay, now he's maybe in third gear, and then he just, gets caught F5, and that was it. I thought I was watching a Brock, Roman match.
Yeah, it kind of gave me the feels of a Brock Roman match, especially like after the repeated Superman punches. It gave me 2015 WrestleMania 31 vibes.
And said the entire date too. He said, "What specific one?" But I have a question before we move on to the next match.
What was the question?
If Jackson wants to forget this match, do you think he comes back and does a second one?
No.
No.
I think he's genuinely done.
I
think he's just done with all that.
Yeah,
I don't blame him for being done. I just think he's just done and over it. He wants that to be gone. He wants that to be.
And I don't blame him. The guy getting up there in age, he got kids, like he had a historic run. Like we won't never forget that name, Leo Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I said earlier, it really affected his legacy with that match. 1 F5. 1, 2, 3. The Kings beat.
3 minutes. Didn't even get weighted by Dave Meltzer. Like, arguably the saddest in his hometown too.
Anyway, let's move on. What was next on the card?
Next match, we had Devin Abbott beating Joey Young, and I think this match is a bit interesting because, as we know, Joey Young was the 2022 Rookie of the Year on nearly I want to say maybe about like a 75% win percentage. This match came about after Devin Abbott debuted and helped Jalen Parker defeat his long rival Young for the first time, and then Young lost to Abbott. Making the Abbott.
The thing is with Joey Young, like he was like one of the starting competitors, like one of the first signings of GCW.
He was the first match.
Fighting Cherioba. Like Joey Young was like one of the most promising rookies we had, and then after he lost to Devin Abbott, it was just like we haven't seen him since then. But Devin Abbott, I don't even blame the guy for losing to Devin because Devin, like the strikes, the viciousness, the brutality he brings to the ring is basically like unmatched in GCW.
Like,
So
we saw fucking, and sorry for my language, but like we saw Joey go up from staying into the likes of Classpar, having a really good match with like Kobe Dasso, and going to a time of draw with Joshua Blaze to now being completely off TV ever since losing.
I don't know. A part of me thinks that this loss, because he's been winning so much, affected Joey more than we expected, and it caused him to take some time off. Will we ever see Joey Young again? I do not know.
What do you think about it? Just the idea that a man who's had a mediocre rise could just fall so quickly.
That's what happens. Some people honestly cannot take the spotlight for very long. Some people crumble under it. It's just the way reality works. It's not made for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. And we built him up. He was, a member of a wrestling family. His brother a wrestler, his dad a wrestler, but seems like right now, he is, and just isn't ready to step back in the ring, and that's okay. Up next, I think Silo is your favorite match. Jobbers No More wins the tag titles from Aussie Express.
Hey, let me just say, Jobbers No More solidified themselves, and I don't mean to quote them, but no longer Jobbers. These guys proved that they had what it takes in the tag division to be one of the top tag teams. They're the tag team champions, the world heavyweight tag team champions.
And being the way Walker, Seth and Kyle Walker, who Seth is a former international Twitch champion in a different place, but like defeated Dom, who by the way the Lockers came in and instantly beat D&D, who were inaugural champions, Jaden and Justin Blade. They lost them, beat them twice. One time was a Territory Falls match, which was a sleep, and then they lost to Jobbers No More, who Jobbers No More we thought didn't have a chance. Big tag.
Sean Patterson and Daquan really showed what it took to put your heart and soul into something and to get it done. Top tier tag team, top tier match. The storytelling was there.
Dumb team.
I don't think Daquan is gonna take lightly that he's gonna try to hit Daquan.
I don't give a shit if Daquan likes what I have to say or not. It's fun.
Are you not a fan of the all-current tag champions?
Absolutely fucking not. As I said, dumb name, dumb team. State my case.
Well, on to the next match.
Next, we saw an amazing contest as Aiden Koda, a rookie, took on Kei Sasaki, in Sasaki's first defense of the national title. Obviously, we saw Sasaki win the title on a weekly show by beating his mentor, but Sasaki really fucking proved himself that night. I feel like a 4.75 star weighted match. Well, he fought someone who I thought was equal, but continue.
And the thing is, with that match, in the kind of foreshadowing of that match, Kei Sasaki was one of GTW's rookies as well. And he fought Classpar, Hiroya Gucci, multiple other competitors. Once he faced Shirioba the first time and lost that mosh pit, it affected Sasaki so much in a way that it took him back to his roots. It took him back to how he used to feel and what took him to here in the first place. And that's what I feel like Kei feel he can be his mentor. But when he stepped in the ring with Dakota for his first defense, I might have been thinking that Kay was looking at Aiden how Shiro was looking at Kay. Because if you really think about it, Aiden Kota is a incredible rookie. Man is one of the toughest wrestlers I've seen, no doubt. He can get technical with the best of them. So like Kota has what he had what it took, but the Golden Sun case of Sasaki was just a little bit too much for Kota that night, and was able to get the job done and retain the GTW national title.
No, I'm gonna express a hot take.
What is your optic?
And I think Foul might agree with me if Foul wants to play the professional hater role.
I'm not a professional hater. I just admire talent that is actually good.
I think
that don't have the names Jobber no more, or have a cocky ego in Aiden Adams. It's not hate.
I think Kei Sasaki is a he's the type of guy to let it all out there each and every night, right? You know, use the full liter of gas. But I think he's going to burn out soon. I think he's running low. I honestly don't think he can continue to do these big matches as frequently as he is. And we've seen it. You know, now that he's quote unquote stuck in Japan, visa issues, whatever. I think he's just looking for a break to refill that gas tank.
And that's what this business can do to you, honestly. Like going out there in the professional wrestling ring, hitting the ropes, smacking that mat, taking a bump. It isn't easy. Why do you think none of us do it? Why do you think we're sitting here on this podcast instead of in the ring doing what those guys do? Because that shit hurts. Like, I can't blame the guy for wanting to take a break, but at the same time, Kay is one for the fans. He's not gonna be gone for. He's not gonna be gone for long. He's gonna come back. He knows how much these people love him. He knows how much these people want to see him perform.
But it's that fact though, Silo. The fact that he does it all just for flashy stuff for the fans. I think it's gonna cost him. I don't think he's holding on for this title any longer. Especially when you look at like a real man, like Wiley Wickman.
True. He could potentially be at his lowest right now. But as far as him being burnt out, I don't think he's burnt out just yet. The kid just started, less than a year ago? At least started wrestling in the big light for GGW, like less than a year ago. Him being burnt out is not even a question in my mind.
But I think most of his stuff are less when people with less experience than him people he knows. I don't know. I just don't think Kay is going to be the guy for much longer. That's my opinion. I honestly don't think he deserves it too.
What makes you say that?
Because he's not that good.
Thank you. Like, yeah, Kay had.
You can only go for so long, and then the fans will start to turn on you too. I'm not gonna lie, dude's kind of boring as bathwater, dog. Like, there's nothing to him. Sure, you can have fighting spirit, but how long is that fighting spirit gonna last? You have fighting spirit for so long until you realize that it slowly loses time and time again when you get your ass beat time and time again. I don't think he'll ever win the big one. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he will. And I think that's a stretch, but it's just facts. Unless he finds something or finds someone who can help him along this journey, I don't see him being a top star in GGW. Because I just think there's something that he's lacking. And he's going to lose that drive. And then once he loses that drive, he's going to have nothing.
Thank you. Finally, someone says it. I mean, he had one promo where he set up his mentor. Like, one really good promo. He made a few funny comments, but like other than that, I don't know. I don't think the moment itself has the charisma we look forward to, to see. I think he's reached his peak.
These are a bunch of opinions. So let's move on to the next match.
Up next is the match I had high hopes for. TLC, Joshua Blaze and Jay Styles versus Adrian Adams. Triple threat TLC match. I mean,
this match. This match also disappointed me.
I'll say this, like, on a pure
I
brutality,
just feel like Jay Sheamus was just like lost out there.
well, you also got to think on a pure brutality sense. This match had it, right? There's that spot near the end, but it's the sense that all these men aren't really used to the TLC concept. The TLC, I'll say this, is a hard match to get right. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think, best TLC match of all time. That wasn't a tag team. I think the tag team TLC match was good because of how crazy it was. But like, with WrestleMan, men, I think it was clunky. Those, and maybe that's the problem with Triple Threat, is that there's always two people who are busy and one person who's not. And we saw that. I mean, I thought Jay Styles did a really great spot where he jumped off that ladder with a double fist arm to Adrian's back. I thought the concerto to Adrian was nice.
Which, I have a question about Mr. Jay Sheamus. Yeah. I'm not really a big fan of him. I can't get behind the guy. He's, first of all, you want to talk about guys not having charisma. His promos sounds like he's like just not there all the way. Another thing, how long can he wait that much and be that big, muscly guy and do all these flippy things until he tears his quads?
Well, his quads are like super glued together. Like,
yeah, that double foot stuff was cool. But a guy his size and that weight caliber, he cannot do that for long.
I think that's how tearing your quad works, my friend.
But the thing is, how they have seen is that Jay Styles is generationally, transcendentally great.
I just don't feel like he's that good.
But also at the same time, Jay Styles is generationally, transcendentally hot and cold.
I mean, we seen the guy get caught.
Love that Katy Perry song.
We seen the guy get caught for stealing shit, right?
Yeah.
He comes back, right? He comes back to all the companies he got fired from. He comes back, he essentially does nothing. I mean, sure, he won a world title in EPW, that's fine, but other than that, when it comes to Golden Gate, he's been fighting Joshua Blaze, which these two men have hatred for each other.
I mean, we saw Blaze in the bloody heap today.
But you can hear in Shameless promo tonight, he wants to focus on gold. I get the sense that he's tired of fighting Joshua Blaze.
No, I'll ask you this question. Do you think,
may have an answer.
Do you think Jay Styles gets gold? Do you think he can win gold?
Sure.
No.
I think you just said something completely stupendous. Silent. I think that Jay Sheamus can 100% go on. You're worried about a dude who's, 6'6", probably 250. Yes, who has that athletic capability, but he looks like he takes care of his body well. I mean, You know what I'm saying? What is there really to complain about that? If he wants to win gold, sure, I don't blame him for winning gold. I think that's what everybody in the company wants to do, is to win gold, is to do something. You know what I'm saying? They want to be in the history books. They want to call themselves one of the greatest champions of all time. You know what I mean? I think he has everything to it. I think the Rockstar has everything to transition himself into a superstar, my friend. He has the look, he has the capability, and I don't blame him. I don't like Joshua Blaze, so if I was stuck in a mix with Joshua Blaze, I would want to get out of that shit too, to be honest with you. What's there to it?
I mean, I get the standpoint, but not everyone has what it takes to be the top guy. We saw him get there in Pinnacle Pro Wrestling. He failed. He lost.
Whoa. Here's your
I mean,
problem.
I also personally believe that Jay Shameless is better than Adrian Adams. So
I also believe that you also need to take into account the battlefield he's playing on. Yeah, whatever other companies best at the third, but that doesn't matter. Those other places don't have the same level of talent. They don't have the same level of skill. I mean, I would say this. Historically, I think GGW is the greatest mix-up of roster of all time right now.
True. I agree with that statement.
Right? In the current roster, I do not believe Jay Samuels is top 5.
right now, go.
Okay, Jaden Blake, Classpar, fucking.
You're tripping.
Jaden Blake, Classpar, Hollywood Henson.
You're tripping.
Adrian Adams, and let's go with Sam Miller.
You're tripping. You're tripping.
What is your
Classpar is not even on that list, dog. He's on a downward spiral. He's on if the way Classpar is going, he's close to fucking being like Leo Jackson bad. Honestly, if he doesn't get his shit together, he should probably put the boots up too.
Wow.
I mean, for crying out loud, he got suspended. What the hell did he got suspended for? I don't know. He's going downhill.
What is top 5?
Top 5
now.
In GGW right now.
Right now.
In no particular order. Hollywood Hanson, Jay Shameless, Jaden Blake. Adrian can go up there, sure. You want to know what? Hot take. Kobe Dash number 5. Right there.
Very good pick.
Already? You have him over Class?
Yeah, Class is out of control. At least Kobe is showing that he has the potential to maintain in superstardom when he gets there. He's a young prospect. He's a young prospect. Picture him like a little MJ or LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? His rookie year is not going to be perfect. Nobody's rookie year is perfect. But he can go on that pace with the rate that he's at to be considered to be one of the greatest. And he already is right now.
And plus, on top of that, the kid has already shows he has what it takes to hang in there with the best one.
Exactly.
You want to use a basketball reference, I'll use a football reference. Kobe Dasso is a young prospect, like I'll say a Trey Lance, a Kyle Trask. But Classpar is a Tom Brady.
He's not.
I'm still choosing Classpar.
No, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you? He's not even on the Tom Brady level. What the hell are you talking about? He is Aaron Rodgers now. Where now when he's suspended, he has to go into a little bit of isolation to figure out what the fuck is wrong with him. And if he doesn't know what the fuck is wrong with him, then I think he's gonna know that it's gonna time to put them fucking laces up. Time to put the boots up, and Class is gonna be out of session. Real fucking quick.
I think Class is on his Tom Brady retirement right now. I think he's taking the suspension.
No.
Time with a different team.
No. That right there is no.
Silo, can you believe this?
Blasphemy.
Can you believe this, Silo?
To be honest, Classpar he's weird to me because you can see Classpar work so great right? We've seen it with Adrian, and we've seen it across the world with other promotions, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can see him work so good, and then the next minute, he's down so low.
Exactly. If Classpar was really one of the best, why didn't he lose last week? Did something really get the best of him, where he doesn't know what the hell is going on?
And he
He
lost
doesn't know how the hell.
for the
He
world
doesn't know how the hell he's going to take this loss and losing to Adrian Adams. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of an interesting situation we have here. It sounds like a downward spiral. I think some would say he's becoming senile at his age.
Wow. I'm going to agree to disagree and move on to the next match. I want to vote Jaden Blake. Jaden Blake was Blake. We can go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaden Blake.
Jim Blake's doing the same.
Yeah, 5.25. Jaden Blake. 6-man ladder match. I mean, now this match was a soccer. We saw Gunnar Bedley, great rookie, friend of Jason Amos, member of the Misfits. Adam Ortiz, a great technical wrestler. Sebastian Ivanov, a giant of a man, 6'9" from the Red Army. I'm just fucking Moscow built. Tyler Greco. Jalen Parker, who's been on a mediocre rise since his Jobber days. And Hollywood Hanson returned.
Which remind I must say, I am the biggest mark for Hollywood. The dude is one of the best. He makes movies. He got the charisma on the mic. He got the charisma in the ring. That fucking devastating hand bomb. He has it all, man. Hollywood Hanson is one of the best, if not the best, going to get wrestling right now.
I personally never thought I'd see Hanson back in the wrestling ring, okay? After his trouble with management, after him going back to where he came from, and that place fell in, I thought Hanson would hang up the boots, continue his name in Hollywood. I mean, I thought I heard rumors of a next blockbuster film co-starring Batista or something like that. I thought, more movies, more penthouses. Hanson continues to go on his merry way. But Hanson choosing, instead of going back to Hollywood, and everyone would have respected him. Yeah, he came to wrestling, did his thing, came to go to get wrestling again and won that week because I thought it was, and especially his moment with Sebastian, right? Some of his own size. Those big men nearly almost teaming together that entire match until the very end, where they slugged it out. I thought it was great. Hanson just felt light in Dallas that day.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I personally think it's the right move. I think it's more superstardom to the roster that's already stacked. I think, honestly, really, it could have gone either way. It could have gone a lot of ways, to be honest with you. I think the only person who was really at a disadvantage was Adam Ortiz. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can be a great technical guy. You know what I'm saying? You can work your magic in the ring, but ladder matches are no joke. You know what I mean? They're no joke, man. And it really gets chaotic. It gets hectic, and it was enjoyable to watch all the shit that happened and everything like that. I thought it was great. And Hanson winning is not a surprise. I just wonder what the hell he's going to do with it. You know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to continue to make a mockery of the world champions, whether people like it or not.
I think he's on one of his lifetime right now. I think all the colleges are in his back right now. Like he won that debut, and he doesn't need to wrestle since. He's kind of just wiped the tie. But he might come into disadvantage. He's been flaunting that briefcase around. He's constantly talking about how he can do it at any time, any place he wants. He has all the power in his hands. Do you think In my opinion, I would think that the world champions would be boosting up boosting up the defense. Like stop fighting regularly. That might be something interesting. If you guys noticed that.
But here's the thing with that. Hollywood Hanson is 6'8" with a briefcase that he can cash in anytime. Jaden Blake and Adrian doesn't have to wrestle that much. But Hanson could easily wait till they wrestle again, which is going to happen because they're the two world champions of the company, and cash in, hit the Hanson bomb, cash his ticket to glory, and become either Triple Crown champion or World Heavyweight champion. So no, I do not think this can backfire on him in any sort of way, unless Hollywood Hanson faces somebody one-on-one for that briefcase and loses it, which I do not think is highly to happen.
I mean, anything's possible. Don't count anything out. You know what I mean? I just think it would be more surprising if somebody were to take it off of him than to. You know what I mean? I think it would be very crazy to think about. And another thing, going back to the topic, I mean, I don't think Adrian and them have to wrestle every single night. They're going to have to defend at pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to have to make moment. Hanson is going to take his time and do whatever he wants to. People are already sitting at the edge of their seats every time the champions are wrestling. Or even cutting a promo. They could be sabotaged. They could do whatever. Hanson has every card in his hand, if you really think about it. He's the dealer in this never-ending game of blackjack who's going to take your money every single time. He's going to continue to manipulate ways to get things the way that he wants to do. And I mean, at this point, he's just giving. Honestly, if I was in either Adrian Adams or Jaden Blake's position, I'd be paranoid as shit. Having to look around everywhere. Having to quickly get the hell out of the ring after a match. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to be I think it's going to be very interesting to see who he attempts to cash in on.
I think the point. I don't mean to cut you off. I think the point that we need to know is Hanson's track record with cashes in 2-0.
Yeah.
And both times on the same guy, who seems to be a common denominator. Jaden Blake.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that.
Both times.
That would be even worse. That'd be even more paranoia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'd be even more paranoid if you were Jaden Blake. Because you feel like he's just going to be breathing down your neck just to be like, oh, third time's a charm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting to think about.
And we've noticed that Blake, has stopped fighting on weekly shows. He stopped doing open challenges. Now he's going to be having people fight qualifying matches for Fatal 4-Way to contend for his title, right? So previously, he stopped fighting weekly. I think he's starting to feel it. I mean, there's a phrase out of Tennessee, fool me once, you're same on me. Fool me twice, that's the same on you. But it's that third time. And so I think Blake might have a strategy, and I think he may expect it, or might be expecting it. But Adrian, I don't think Adrian will ever expect it.
No. And then again, I also think if you're in Adrian's shoes, right? I think once again, ego comes into play. It's a really big ego-driven champion is what he is. I mean, I bet he doesn't want to admit it, but he is very ego-driven.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's high and mighty above everyone else. But just wait for that moment to just strike while the iron's hot. And something's going to happen,
I'll say this about Adrian. I think Adrian is way too loose with that title. Like, his next defense against Alex Hunter is coming out due to Alex Hunter saying one bad thing about Adrian Adams' girlfriend on Twitter.
And another thing, I don't feel like Adrian Adams takes his opponent seriously. like every opponent that he faces, I just feel like he doesn't care about the opponent. He doesn't take him seriously. Like he said, like Fox said, he's equal. He's equal.
But one thing you must also say with that is that he is very talented.
He is, and I can't take that away from the guy. Nobody can. But when it comes to the point where you don't even take your opponent seriously, never. You look at everyone as a joke just because you're the top guy. Mm-hmm. You don't think that mountain that got you built up can come crashing down on you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what a smart champion would do. Think about scenarios and think about what can happen. It's not always about what's happening.
So, to cut it from the topic, I'm going to be going up. I had a few bullet points, I want to touch on, but I'm going to jump ahead since we're kind of on this topic, like subject. On the topic of Hollywood Hanson, though, his briefcase. What is your prediction personally? Where do you see him casting in? Look at you. Oh, but how do you want a fantasy book it?
I would say Supremacy. Supremacy is where he cashes tickets to glory. The Hollywood megastar becomes that megastar.
On who?
He becomes on Adrian Adams. Not even Adrian Adams. I don't think if Adrian's holding the title at that time, Adrian Adams.
Val?
I think he's going to play a slow, methodical game, and he's going to wait until the very last second before tickets to my downfall 2 and cash in on whoever's at the time, whether it's Adrian Adams or not.
They think he goes a full counter. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think he's still going to play the long game. I think he's leading us all to play that he's going to lead us all to believe that he's playing a long game. But I just see him casting maybe like a full kill shot.
Possibility. I just think the games that he's playing, he's leaving everybody in suspense, and he's leaving. You know what I mean? I think he could be that person that can lead something into all the way until the very last second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think here's what I think. I think if I'm Hanson, right? I look at Moscow. I look at the other briefcase in GGW, the Wait to Challenge briefcase, right? Which is basically a guaranteed title shot once you complete it. I think he waits for Moscow. Knowing Moscow in his brutish mind, he's on casting as soon as he can. Right? I think in Russia, it's Moscow, it's Adams. I think Moscow beats Adrian, but I think Hanson walks out with the title.
See, that seems reasonable because, I mean, even if you think about it like this, you go to the company that can't be named, Hanson's first main thing was Moscow. Like, they do have some history. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where it's really up in the air. It seemed like the oddball that a lot of people are just not going to even assume is just Adrian Adams, because Adrian Adams really doesn't have that history compared to somebody like Jaden Blake or Moscow has with Hanson.
And a few Hollywood Hanson, right, Farrell? A few Hollywood Hanson for a second. Wanted you want to get the other briefcase out of play?
Yeah. No, absolutely not. But then again, I also think that whatchamacallit. I felt like if he were to cash in on before Killshot, right? Let's say on Adrian Adams, I feel like if he were to do that, then I feel like he would honestly go out of his way, and then let's say Moscow cashed in. I feel like he would cheat his way out of the system just to screw over Moscow, because it sounds like something he would just do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simply grab a chair or count himself out, or do something along those lines, or hit Moscow with the title. Anything is possible then.
Oh yeah, but I think that would be a dangerous game to play after. I think having the Red Army after you like that, it would be very dangerous for Hanson, who strictly rolls alone. He's not a very big faction guy. He tried that before and see what that ended up for him.
I mean, not bad. Didn't end up horribly for him.
I mean, he was in a faction with the guy you said was falling off, and
You mean when he was in his prime?
which was arrested a year ago.
Shit happens, man. You become an all-star on years, then what happens? You start to downgrade. You start to fall off, my friend. But also, Classpar is 1 year older.
So is Hanson.
Hanson's not 40, whatever.
That's foul. Yeah, no, we went through all of Tickets to My Downfall's matches, and we've gone over Hanson and his prediction. We talked about it earlier in the Just for argument, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because I think it'll break it into an argument. But Class's loss to Jalen Parker, a man who, by the way, last year in 2022 only won a single match, and that was at the Joshua Blaze birthday mask in a 6-man tag match, in which he was not involved in the pinfall whatsoever. He had a record of 1 in 11. And now, since 2022, he has a record of 5-0 with a win over Classpar.
Classpar is washed.
Honestly,
But it's
See?
I don't
Classpar.
I don't
No,
think
no, there is
Classpar
no, but it's still Classpar. If it was still Classpar in his prime, would he beat Agent Adams? Answer that question for me. Would he have beaten Agent Adams?
I think if given a second chance.
No, you didn't answer my question. When Agent Adams and Classpar fought, if Class was in his prime, do you think he would have beaten him? No second match bullshit. Do you think he would have?
Of the universal blind, I
No.
Stop
trying to dodge the question.
The universe would lie bullshit. Okay? Shove the stars up your ass and answer my damn question.
Okay, you know what? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe anyone at that time was touching Adrian Adams.
Okay.
I
even in his prime. So in his prime, he still can't beat Agent Adams.
So what makes you think right now he has what it takes? If you don't even think he can beat him in his prime, how do you think right now
I think
he can beat Adrian?
I think Class in his prime, right? Was a man.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Class in his prime was a man who had everything to gain but nothing to lose. But Class now, with his back against the wall, with his confidence at an all-time low, has everything to lose. I think that is what separates him from his prime. I think Class is hungry. I think Class is going to take whatever it is he has to take, whatever it's, stem cell transplant surgery, or whatever it's, PEDs, or whatever it takes.
You're saying that Class needs to take PEDs to win a championship. That's what you were saying. No, those words literally just came out of your mouth.
Class needs
No,
to do
there is
whatever
no. I think you literally just said that. You literally realized that he would still get suspended for that reason.
I think whatever it takes. Class is a smart man.
Yeah, clearly he's not. He got suspended.
I don't know, man. The Classpar situation, like I said, is weird.
Don't say he's a smart man. Clearly he's not. He got suspended.
I think he made a foolish mistake. I think every man does.
No, young man, he's like 40. Dude, this is not helping your case at all.
He's not young.
He's washed. He is washed. It's over. He's done. He can't take an L no more. He ain't in his prime. He even said if he was in his prime, he couldn't beat Adrian Adams.
I hate that I have to agree with you. I hate it.
Oh, so now you agree.
I hate it. I hate it. I really don't want to. I really want to hold out hope for Crass.
I mean, you can't really want to agree with me after you said, oh, he can just take PEDs to win the championship. And that means he would just get suspended and be stripped of the title. Because that's how drug tests work.
It would be a good moment, though. It would be a good moment, though, to see Crass holding out title.
And then the day later, it comes out that he took PEDs and like...
Okay, that might ruin his career.
It'll make him look like a fraud.
Oh my god, he already is a fraud.
Yeah, do you even question on the topic of PDs? How has Jay Samus not been busted?
He's clean.
I don't think he takes.
I worked out with him one time.
So you
I
see
think he's clean.
I
Worked out with him.
A good wrestler. Even though I don't think he's a good wrestler, I think he's clean.
He just has the right diet. He's just eating well. He's doing everything that he needs to. That's all it is. You can tell that he cares. And he's in his prime.
And he's still young. Jay Shams is only 28.
It's crazy.
See? Look at his prime. Not fucking 48 or 50 or 42. Like a senile old man.
You all like. Yo, didn't even question Foul. Did you have money on Jackson?
For what?
When he fought Class, did you or did you not have money on Jackson? What is your hatred with Class for?
Oh, I didn't bet. So, I'm not a betting man, my friend.
I don't know, if I was a better man.
Because I am not an addict.
If I was a better man, I think Jake gets
And
popped.
I don't get paid enough.
I just genuinely believe that Jake gets popped this year, but I think we move on to the next subject.
Yeah, let's please do. I think we've heard enough of your stupid remarks about Classpar taking PEDs.
No, I think there's not much to say about Alex Hunter and Adrian Adams' Twitter beef. I think Alex Hunter played a masterclass with Seth talking and somehow found his way into a world title match.
I don't think he's gonna win, but
I think it's impressive the way he got into someone's mind who has been so calm and collected.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you push somebody's buttons for a certain amount of time, you can get something one way or another.
He's not even signed to the company, and he just talked his way into a title match with Adrian.
Well, ego.
But I heard there was rumors to sign him at one point in time. I guess those rumors came true.
I know he was under contract when he appeared at, I believe it was the Big Redemption, where he made his entrance, but then apparently that night his contract was null and voided when he went to Pinnacle instead. So yeah, that was a touchy subject, but I think we talked about a very deep subject, and honestly, outright scary. Evan McCarthy and Mason Angel. What the fuck's going on?
Dude, I think they should be charged with murder.
How did we allow this on TV?
I don't even know.
And the craziest thing I'm going to say is I couldn't tell you. That's crazy. That's the craziest thing I'm going to say.
For those of you who are just tuning in, for some context, Mason Angel and Everett McCarthy are longtime best friends. Some would say even like brothers to the point where Mason had changed his name to Mason McCarthy. They had grew up together and spent a lot of time together. Mason was basically a member of the family, right? The longest of family members. And Everett, or Evan, whatever he wants to be called, was a original member of Golden Gate. And a few weeks ago, invited Mason Angel. Said, hey, this is basically my stomping grounds. I go here, and I want my family here. I have Kristen McCarthy, I have Jason and Damian Black, White and Black. I have all my friends and family here. I want you too, and I'll even give you an exhibition match. I've been on a losing streak. You're new here, so let's have a match in front of TV so you can get used to it. But Evan, after can I just say, was getting walked circles around by Mason. When she low blow, brainbuster, punt, done. Went straight after the head, both heads even. Right? And Silo, do you think that was that play there to win that match like that? You know it's fair game?
I would do the same thing. Think about it. You're in a precarious position. In a fight of a lifetime. You want to get the win. You see the opening. You're stupid not to take it.
But it was not a fight of a lifetime. It was an exhibition match.
It doesn't matter. You do whatever it takes to get the win.
Brothers get heated, do they not? When they start fighting each other and shit, they totally don't have heated arguments and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just
but
it happens.
Do you punch your brother? Do you purposely blame
I don't have a brother, so I cannot speak on this topic.
So would you try to give your brother brain damage? Over and over.
If my brother is trying to stop my career.
And an exhibition match that didn't go on any of your records that you invited him to.
Sure thing.
Crazy. Now, the week after, last week now, we saw Mason. I had the chance to interview Evan. Evan says some pretty vulgar things about Mason and said that he had never considered him family or friend, and that he wanted to use Mason all along as a stepping stone to fix his trajectory of his career. We saw Mason interfere. They exchanged a few words to insults. Evan now, like a bigger man, I guess I'd say, this is why I believe Mason went wrong. Evan walked away. Mason followed and attacked him. Evan tried to run away, climbing up the catwalk. And I'm going to just sound a crosshair. Mason powerbombed him off the catwalk with the spotlight. How tall are those catwalks? A good 30 feet, right?
I don't know.
They seem pretty tall to me, right? I had a good 30 feet, maybe. 40, 30, maybe 50 feet. A powerbomb off of it into a spotlight. My question to you guys is, was it or was it not attempted murder?
I believe it's attempted murder, but I don't know.
I believe it's attempted murder for sure.
I mean, brothers fight, but to be honest, they kind of go on a whole another. Evan McCarthy kind of is a little bit crazy. So.
I mean, so is Mason.
Everyone knows this about Evan, though. That's kind of been Evan's thing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's kind of the loose cannon. You know what I'm saying?
But I didn't notice about Mason.
Yeah. Well, okay, you fucking find out the real shit. It's one way or another, right?
I got immediate medical care by being rushed to a hospital, and Mason was held in a holding cell. Cody Conway, or GM, had Evan drop charges. What the fuck is Conway thinking?
This is obviously a cheap cash grab for Cody Conway. This is a cash grab. The man literally tried to murder him, and what are you gonna do now? Book him in the match?
I don't think Cody Conway has the best little team.
He's a young guy that started up this wrestling company, and now he's just running wild with it, doing whatever he pleases. Not really a big fan of it.
What do you think he offered Evan? In return to drop the charges.
A cash grab match between Evan McCarthy.
You know, people see it. People are gonna want to see it. Like it's just those things where it's just like
both of the superstars come back.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just one of those things where you look at it, it's just like damn, it's really just a cash grab for to be like, oh yeah, let's do this, and that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally what it is.
I think it's despicable. I think it's disgusting. I think it's horrid that Evan wants to fight Mason. I think it's horrid that Mason said, I'll accept if I see him walk out the hospital. We are allowing an actual psychotic attempted murders on a television screen. And I'm honestly scared. Because Evan, he's probably going to get out of the hospital bed, walk out of the hospital, walk in to the lane, complete the clause, get that match. Follow anywhere, anything goes at Killstar. I think that match is going to be brutal. I don't think it'll be a match. I'm scared of what can happen. We saw, attempted murder. Who's to say that one of them don't bring a knife, a gun, maybe? Like, how far are these two willing to go?
Really far.
And I feel like with Evan, he's worse than Mason because we've seen him in the death match with Jay Chambers before on the Monkey card. Like, we've seen him in these positions with Sherry Oaks before. And yes, I just said that name. We've seen Evan in so many crazy situations. Like, he was able to walk out of rather it was a loss or a win. He is still wrestling. He is still doing whatever McCarthy does. That is being a loose cannon. Now, granted, being a loose cannon can get you in situations just for that exact reason of you being a loose cannon. I don't really think Evan has the brains that Mason does. Evan thinks like a numbnut.
I think Evan screams CTE.
That's scary.
As far as Mason kind of thinks before he steps. He's one of those type of guys. He reminds me of Joshua Blaze in a way.
That like clause where he's like, I'll accept if I see Evan. He knows for the fact that he's going to see Evan. I think he knows for the fact that Evan's fucking walking out, and is going to do whatever it takes. I don't. Why do you think he's trying to do the inevitable?
Well, then surprise. You know what I mean? Oh well, surprise. Like, it's just what's gonna happen.
I'm scared of it. I'm going to have to call it. I think it's going to be one of the most brutal matches we're ever going to see. I think I don't know what Edelman's career or life goes after this. I just hope that these two men remember that it's a match. I have to take many steps back from what they were in that backstage segment. That's all I can really say unless you guys have any comment.
No, I mean, I think you already said what has to be said. I mean,
I got no comment.
I don't believe it's the right thing for Cody Conway to book a match with like that. I don't think it's right at all, to be honest with you. But that's just what I think.
But I gotta be fair on both sides. There's a way to book around it. You can book it as a death match, an unsanctioned match, a match that we know that this shit will end.
Well, what's looking like, at least what Cody said on television, false count anywhere, anything goes. I don't know if GCW is going to be responsible whether or not for the injuries of Cody, but I guess we'll find that out when the contract gets signed. And you said Joshua Blaze, so I want to actually circle on to our next topic. So this is something you know about, I think it's something just Fowler just hearing about, but Joshua Blaze's TPW World Title Death. What do you think that means?
I think Joshua Blaze right now is in the stage that he shouldn't be in. He's in the stage that he's already been in. He's in the stage of trying to prove himself to everyone else when he's already done it. The TPW scandal with the world title. It was incredible. The promo he cut was good. I was watching the show. But at the same time, he has this thing going on with Shameless. He has stolen the TPW title, wrestled CSK and attacked him. Like, I just feel like Blaze is crying out for attention because Joshua Blaze needs help. He hasn't been the same since the Misfits. I don't know what Jay did specifically to them that made them hate him so much. But after the Misfits ended, it was a constant cry for attention for Joshua Blaze.
I'll explain what happened, and I want your thoughts on it. But there was a TPW show yesterday where their world champion TSK had vacated their title, right? As soon as he said the word "I vacate," like this title was spoken into existence, Jay Samus' theme played, and instead of Jay Samus coming out, it was Joshua Blaze who hit him with the TSKO, held up the title, cut a promo, basically told him, now that you dropped it, I pick it up, and walked out, basically. And then he showed up on Golden Gate with the title. And is now claiming himself to be the champion.
Okay.
Like I said, what does that sound like to you? A cry for attention.
I mean, I didn't even know that company existed, to be honest with you. But, like, also, like, I really do not care. I do not care for somebody like Joshua Blaze. I do not. It's just one of those things where I think it's just an act of him trying to be like, oh, notice me, please. I need it. I desperately, ever so gladly would take the attention. Please. That's all I ask. That's all I beg. I just think it's an attention grab. I do not care about what happens. I think him stealing moves is shocking, as you can hear the sarcasm in my voice, because it's honestly really not. But, you know, I think Joshua Blaze honestly knows that he doesn't have a credible name to himself. I think he realizes that he's just not that guy, so he has to go. I think he's thinking too much outside of the box and is not realizing what he could actually be doing to get his name up in the cards and all that. Yeah, but that's just what I think.
I mean, besides all the legal, stuff behind what he's doing, I think you're right. This is a big attention grab. I think this is, especially like his words on GGW tonight, Silo. He said that the title that he picked up doesn't mean anything. He said that the title that Jay Singh was told in a different company didn't mean anything. And there are only 2 titles in all of existence that means anything. What do you agree with that?
No.
I mean, I disagree.
Okay, and that might be your opinion. And then this is where I come back to the attention grabbing thing. Saying whatever you want to, saying whatever you need to get a pop. I feel like discrediting other companies because I work at GGW isn't like, like where's the credibility for them signing you, for them paying you to be there for the event? Like, to say that their other companies' titles mean nothing. And if that's the case, if you feel that way, Blaze, then GGW has no competition. If the other company's title doesn't mean anything, then we are not competing with anyone.
I mean,
like,
to play devil's advocate, if I may, right? We have already come to the agreement that GGW's roster is the most stacked in all of existence. But the most quality matches, the highest tail production that it can, right? With all these quality storylines and all this stuff, right? Throwing haymakers and home runs left, right, and center, right? Like the best roster. Wouldn't it itself, having the best roster, mean that its title to be able to be the top of the best roster would mean the most? The title that Adrian Adams holds, the title that Jaden Blake holds, the title that Hollywood Hansen wants. I mean, significantly much more.
I mean, yeah. But at the time, you also got to think those exact same people won championships in other companies.
Yeah, I mean, the WCW title used to mean something. Then what happened to it? David Arquette held it. Because everybody wanted the WWE title because The Rock held it. Steve Austin held it. Michaels held it. Undertaker held it. Kurt Angle wanted it. Chris Jericho wanted it. Cena wanted it. Roman held it. Orton held it. Flair held it. Rollins fought for it. Ambrose fought for it. A title means significantly much more than its competition, depending on who fights for it. We've seen Jay Seamus, we've seen Joshua Blaze, we've seen Adrian Adams, Jaden Blake, Adam Ortiz, Silvio Gilbert, Alan Weaver, right? Cody Dasso. We've seen Hollywood Hansen go after it. Right? Classpar go after it. Max Moore held it. Matt had to go after it. Raff go after it. But so on, so forth. Continue, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It means the most because all of these people have gone after it or held it compared to everyone else. I mean, no disrespect to anyone else, right? And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I think Blaze might have a point. Yeah,
that is an opinion thing.
Next question, Foul.
We have an answer.
What title, in your opinion, means more to you? A title that is held by Classpar and is being chased after by a guy in a dark mask. Oh, a title that is being held by Jaden Blake. That's the Hollywood megastar Hollywood Hanson going after it.
That's not even a question. Like, that's not even like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it has to be Jaden Blake because the whole, you know, it's not really a gun. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good look. Not at all. It was just it's not that. I'll tell you that for sure. It was not a good look whatsoever. No matter how much they want to say, oh, you know, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. It wasn't good of a look to do that.
I just think that, like, whatever sick game Blaze is playing at, we are going to have to wait and see how it transcends. And I need to see what changed about Blaze going into this new match. But unless anyone else has a comment to make about Blaze or Samus, we can move into our next topic and our last topic.
Let's just move into our last topic, honestly.
2022, excuse me, had awards. It had the Superstar of the Year, the Most Improved Star of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Match of the Year. My question right now is, if the year ended right now, in your opinion, what is your prediction for each of those awards? And we'll start with Fowler.
What are the awards? Like, what are the awards to be like? Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You know what
Superstar
I'm
of the Year, Most Improved Star of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Match of the Year.
okay. Hmm. Rookie of the year. I'm gonna say. I think Kobe Dasher counts, right? I think I'm gonna go with Kobe Dasher being honestly rookie of the year. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Match of the year. I really think it can go to like anybody. Really, like I think anything's possible for match of the year to be. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Probably something with Jaden Blake is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Jaden Blake's gonna have something that comes to a you know, look at this and look at that, you know, match of the year. Who knows? That match of the year probably hasn't even happened yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think it could be a huge possibility that we see it sometime later on.
But at the end of the year ended right now, what is your match of the year?
Probably Blake Riopa. That's what I would have to say would probably be my match of the year.
Most Improved.
Most improved. I don't really know who would be most improved, to be honest with you. I think it's a grab for a lot of people. I don't know who or like what, but I think a lot of people could be considered to be you know, let's say most improved. What do you think? What do you think? Who do you think would be most improved?
I think most improved is Kobe. Since I consider Kobe a rookie in 2022,
Okay.
I think it's Kobe, especially after tonight. He's way taught. That's my opinion.
It's not a bad opinion at all. Like it's not bad at all.
My question is the big one though for you. Superstar deal.
Superstar of the year. I feel like it could honestly go to Amir Mosca. I feel like if Moscow wins, let's say he catches it against Adrian Adams, right?
Yeah.
And if he wins, it solidifies himself why he's that guy that nobody wants to mess with. Then I think, oh, he should be the one who gets Superstar of the Year. It's hard to break it to you. It's not going to be Classpar. It's not going to be Adrian Adams.
For a second,
That's just what I believe.
What about
My friend, is just what I believe.
Stuff
Okay.
from Wiki of the Year, Match of the Year, Most Improved Superstar.
Okay. So, rookie of the year, Aiden Coda.
Okay. Why?
Aiden showed what really, the rookie has really showed. I mean, yeah, Kobe's put on good matches, and yeah, Kobe definitely improved. But when I look at stuff like Aiden with the matches he's did, the match with Adam Ortiz, the match with Casey Saki, even the matches he regularly wrestled on weekly shows. Like the kid showed improvement every time he stepped in the ring. So that's why I'll give it to Aiden Coda.
Okay.
Match of the year. This is hard. This is a very hard one because if I'm being honest, like considering that this year just started to me, like haven't really had that much matches this year. So that can go to anyone really. Because I really can't tell you. I mean, yeah, I could say Weaver and Blake maybe.
I think it's definitely Weaver and Blake.
Yeah, I go with Weaver and Blake. And then what was the other award?
Most Improved and Superstar.
Superstar of the year. Superstar of the year. If we're looking at it from a legacy standpoint, Aiden Adams. But if we're looking at it as just character, like feuds, storylines, I'll probably have to go Joshua Blaze.
Mm-hmm. That's a stalker.
Even though I think he's doing a little bit too much crime for attention.
Okay. Here's mine, and I'll give my argument, then we can wrap it up. Rookie of the Year, I think after his 2 matches, I think I feel a lot in him. Sam Miller. Great match with Alex Hunter. Amazing match tonight with Adrian. I mean, they started off hot, and they felt like it was a really good fucking brawl. I was, strong style. I thought the kid showed a lot of heart, a lot of fight. Maybe 0-2, I think he has the it factor. Most improved, I already said Kobe Dasso. This man is on the one of his lifetime right now. And him going up against Wiley Lickman is about his testing point. Match of the year, Blake and Levo. It doesn't need no argument. And Superstar of the year, I think it's a man who holds all the power in the palms of his hand. I think it's a Carl Diller. I think it's a Hollywood megastar. I think it's Hollywood Jacob Hansen. He cashes in. He makes box office draws for Golden Gate Wrestling. And takes it to the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, if you disagree or agree with any of us, let us know in the comments below. I have been Augustine.
I'm Tyler.
I've been foul.
I'm going to see you all for episode 3 whenever that comes around.